some of the most famous words in the Bible, maybe words you're familiar with. It's one of Jesus' I am statements. He says, I am the vine. I am the vine. You are the branches. And if you remain in me and I in you, you will bear much fruit. But apart from me, you can do nothing. What's Jesus talking about here? Well, he's talking about the power of connection. I'm the vine, you are the branches. And if you stay connected to me, you're gonna produce fruit. But if you're disconnected, you will produce nothing. You can do nothing. Now, I could try to be clever and smart here and say, hey, you know, the ancient word for nothing, guess what it means? But it's pretty obvious. The word for nothing means nothing. You don't have to know a lot to know what he's saying here. If you're not connected to him, according to Jesus, you can't do anything. And man, that sounds harsh, right? Like, what do you mean, Jesus? Like, people can't even do anything good apart from you? Like, Jesus, surely if I try hard enough, I can do something good, right? But let's go back to the picture that he's painted for us, a vine and a branch. I have a branch here for us today, and this is a nice looking branch, right? It's, fairly sturdy. It's got one problem. What's the problem? It's disconnected, right? Imagine if you and I had this branch and we went up to someone that we loved, a friend, family member, and we brought them this branch and said, hey, guess what? This branch is gonna produce fruit. Just wait. This is a really nice branch. This branch is gonna produce fruit. What would they think about you? They would think that you're insane, right? They would think you're crazy. What do you mean the branch is gonna produce fruit? It's disconnected from the tree. And so when we have a branch in front of us, we see Jesus' picture. Well, of course a disconnected branch produces nothing. And yet, why do we as followers of Jesus think that we can produce anything on our own power? We're like a branch that's disconnected from the vine. Yeah, but Billy, what if I try really hard? I wonder, wherever you're watching this from, could you help me for a moment? Could you just try to make this branch produce fruit with me? Everyone just kind of strain, like it's gonna happen? Just work hard enough? Anyone? Are you trying? I feel like you're not trying. No? Okay, all right, you're trying. All right, that's good. We got no results, right? Because a disconnected branch produces nothing. You know what we could do? We could get a fake apple and we could attach it to the end, we could tape it on, right? Then it looks good, right? Oh yeah, we've got some fruit on this branch now. And isn't that what some of us do in our lives? In our own power and our own strength, we feel like we've got to put on an appearance. We're not seeing fruit, but we got to fake it until we make it. We've got to make sure other people don't think that, we're someone that isn't seeing fruit in our lives. And so what do? We have fake fruit that we tape onto a dead branch, and we carry this thing around and say, this thing looks pretty good, right? But it's no good. It's a dead branch with fake fruit. It's not producing anything. Jesus says, apart from me, you can do nothing. When you stay connected, you'll produce fruit. But when you're disconnected, you will produce nothing. So what do you and I do with that? Because we want fruit. We want to see God bring these godly things about in our lives. So how do we see it happen? Is it through our effort? Do we just try harder to change? Do we try harder to see God do something in our life? No. Jesus said it himself. Stay connected and you'll bear fruit. And if you don't, then you won't. That's it. It's simple. It's exactly what he said. If you stay connected, by virtue of your connection, the outcome will be fruit. And I want you to imagine what would happen if the people around you looked into your life and they saw, man, there's some godly fruit in your marriage. Where there's some areas in your marriage where, man, we're disconnected. We're at each other's throats. We're making the wrong decisions. We're beginning to see godly fruit in the way that our marriage is operating. And people begin to see that. Imagine in your parenting, if you begin to see more godly fruit produced, what that would do for you, but also what other people would observe. In a sense, we would all get this. A branch does not produce fruit to eat its own fruit. A branch produces fruit that other people eat. Let's say you feel God giving you a nudge, like the story we heard earlier. Man, I've got to start serving in the church. That's an example of him producing fruit in your life. And you're not going to only benefit from that. Other people will eat from that fruit too. When we bear much fruit, we bring glory to God and we show the world that we are his followers. And the way we do this is by getting connected and by staying connected. So let's practice connection this week. Let's practice staying close to Jesus, and let's let him do the work in our life that only he can do.